And I think a lot of people have that dream, but I think very few people actually take that dive off the cliff.
And I think that's like one of the most important things in life is learning that we do all need help and we are all human.
Because I think I've spent probably 95% of my life with that brave front on.
So you've heard of Mr. Beast?
Yes.
The influencer, content creator.
Mm-hmm.
So meet Auntie Zoe.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode and a new format. So 2026 is bringing us guests. So welcome Zoe.
Hi.
Welcome to the pod and thanks for joining us today. We've been speaking about this for a while and actually when we first started this pod nearly a year ago, you reached out to me and said, if you ever want guests, I'll be happy to come on. So it might have taken us a while, but we got here.
I just thought it was such a great concept. I thought I want to be involved in something that seems so positive and uplifting.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what we want. And like the real conversations, because what we do is interesting, but it's not always easy. And I think the more honest conversations we have about it, and share what the realities are of being a working mum, being successful and kind of wearing all the hats, doing all the jobs. It can help people realise like, oh, you know, it's not always perfect or it is hard, even if on the surface it looks great. So no, I'm excited that we've been able to get this put in the diary.
Me too.
So just to give people context, we've known each other for a couple of years now. Not super well, to be fair. It's mainly through work. Well, I thought it was through work, and then you told me that we actually have quite a nice connection previous to that. So you came to one of my company's like work events that we hosted because you have your own real estate company. And I thought that was the first time we were meeting, but you told me that actually you stayed at our Airbnb that me and Liam had before when you were first moving to Spain.
That's right. When we came over to do our own sort of reconnaissance trip of the area, we were coming to look for properties ourselves and get to know the area and just sort of explore. And we had two little ones. So Jack was like 5 months old.
Oh, wow.
And Daniel was he was about to turn 6. He turned 6 just before we actually moved once we'd got everything organised. But it was actually our reconnaissance trip. So we needed a space that was going to be suitable, clean for like the 4 of us. Yeah. And you had an apartment and it was beautiful and we loved it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so you met Liam first.
Yeah.
And then, we met. How soon after would we have met then? Because you were here, you already had your estate agency, so probably within a couple of years maybe of...
Oh, no, it must...
Within a year?
No.
The first year?
No, it must go closer to 6 years, I would think, at least.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like quite a long time.
Yeah.
But I was aware of you through Liam because obviously, your husband is a local business person and like I'd met him, so I thought he was great and supported what he did. And I just like supporting business people.
Yeah, no, that's great. Like I say, when you know someone local who can help, it is great to, and that's part of the reason why we do the women's events and things. It's not just bringing women together, but if you've got a business, shout about it. Like, let's all help each other and point, people in the right direction and push each other's businesses because we're all trying to make it work. So the more we can help, the better. So what I want to do is kind of get to know you a little bit more personally and professionally, for the viewers to get to know you. So you mentioned the real estate company. So how did that come about? Did you know that that's the business you were going to do when you moved to Spain, or?
No, I didn't know at all. So basically, my husband and I both had corporate careers. We both used to work for BT and took voluntary redundancy at different points. And then I had my own business in Liverpool, looking after other people's businesses and helping them grow and doing contracts, events, all different kinds of things. And we decided that when we had Jack, that it was an ideal time to try something different, and we were looking at moving abroad. And my husband's version of the story is that we came for 6 months to try it out, to see what it was going to be like, because the kids were sort of 6 and 6 months when we moved, the 2 younger ones, because we have 3 adult children as well. And so we just decided that it was a good time to give it a go. And we came here with not really a large pot of money, like a fairly small pot of money, and the idea that we would figure it out, like we would just get
Very
jobs.
brave.
Yeah, we just did it. We just thought, this is the time.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, because the children's school wasn't going to suffer at that point.
Yeah, they're still young.
The worst came to worst. We rented our house out in Liverpool. That's where we lived before, and if everything went horribly wrong, we had a contingency plan of being able to go back. So we just thought we're going to give it a go.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. I think a lot of people have that dream, but I think very few people actually take that dive off the cliff, so to speak, because it is scary going to a completely different place. I think changing your career is scary. I think moving to a new area is scary, a country, and with little kids as well. It's not like, it's just you and your partner and you can both throw everything into making it work. Like you're juggling like motherhood as well, and quite new into, postpartum as well. So that must have been, was it stressful?
Absolutely. Yeah. Getting packed to leave was the worst. Yeah. Because it's like, anyone who's ever moving house in itself and then moving countries, there's only so much you can take. So you've got your charity, sell, give away, throw away. Yeah. And we got to and I'm someone I didn't have a lot of stuff when I was young. So I am quite attached to some of my stuff. Right. And my husband is someone who would literally bin every single thing in the house and think nothing of it and think that was great.
I bet that causes some arguments.
So when we were moving house, he was going let's just bin all this. And I was like, but I love that teddy bear.
That's attached to this memory and that memory. No, I get what you mean.
And I got to the point where I had a little mantra that I said in my head, and I don't think my husband's even aware of it. He's going to find out when he watches this. And I actually started saying to myself, I love my husband more than this stuff. I love my husband more than this stuff. And that was my way of getting through, not having huge arguments over the stuff that
and
he
getting
wanted
through the
to
pain
bin.
of getting rid of things.
Or sometimes if I wasn't looking, because obviously I did have a small baby, if I wasn't looking, he was absolutely binning my stuff. And I knew it was happening. It was really wow.
Yeah, no, it's hard. I know a friend of mine, her husband, she'd call like a hoarder, and he just has so much stuff, whereas she's not like that. So yeah, it's difficult. Me and Liam are very similar in a lot of ways, but very different in other ways, and things like that. Yeah, I can see how that would be like, oh, that's painful. So what would your closest friends describe you? Say 3 words. How would they describe you?
Oh gosh, I would have liked some more thought. How would they describe me? I think supportive. I think I'm a very supportive friend of whatever whether they, highs and lows. Yeah. I'm here for all the difficult days and the good days. And I'm always an advocate of whatever people are doing. I'm always excited to support them, whatever way I can. I'm definitely kind because I truly believe that's the way the world goes round. So, being kind is the most important thing to me. Yeah. And I think most of my friends would say that I'm confident. Although coming here today, we spoke when I got here, I was I was actually trying not to say I'm nervous because I was trying to psych myself out of it. Yeah. So I actually said the words, I have lots of nervous energy. And because I was actually trying to stop myself from saying I'm nervous because I was trying to use positive psychology. Yeah. But the reality is it was quite nerve-wracking coming here today, and some people don't always think that of me because they think that I'm confident in what I do.
You talk on stage, you do a lot of public speaking, so I can see how some people would think really, but I think when we did the I'm pointing at Charlotte there, by the way.
I am here, everyone.
Charlotte's here. When we do the women's events, I said it in even one of the clips that Liam got from the event, that people would assume that I'm exactly the same, very confident talking, and actually love it, but doesn't mean it doesn't come with some nervous energy. And I think in those kind of moments, you can do one of two things. You can either ignore it and be like, I'm confident, I'm not nervous. Or you can just be like, I am, and just accept it and then just work with it. So Absolutely. Are you more, you said you were going to try and stop yourself, but are you more accept it, but I'm still going to roll with it?
That's the evolution. I would say when I was younger, I would try and squash the feelings more and be like, no, I'm confident, I'm fine, and like, you know, sort of barge into a room like, yeah, I'm absolutely fine, I am brilliant, blah, blah, blah,
Suppress
blah, blah,
them feelings.
and suppress all the scary feelings. Whereas now I'm much more like, as an older person, because I'm quite aware that I'm going to be 48 in March. And so I'm kind of excited about the prospect of being 50, because I feel like that's kind of like a halfway point.
Yeah.
And my nana was 94 when she passed, so it was just super lucky. And so like, I'm determined, I'm going to beat her. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm getting to that 100.
I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, which I bought when I was quite young.
Yeah.
But also I think it's important to be honest with yourself and also with other people.
Yeah.
Because when you go around sort of being like, and I know I did this when I was younger, when you go around sort of putting on this kind of like brave front all the time, then other people don't get to see the authentic side of like, we're all human. Yeah. So even those of us who appear confident, and especially in situations like this, we've still got those real feelings. I actually say to before I go on stage, when we do A Place in the Sun, I say to people, I do get a little bit of stage fright, and it's a positive thing. You'll find most people who like go onto any form of stage will say that, and I absolutely do. Like, I have to take the deep breaths.
Well, they say nerves means that you care, right?
Absolutely.
If you had no nerves at all, then do you even care about what it is that you're doing?
Absolutely.
But I totally sympathise with that, because I think I've spent probably 95% of my life with that brave front on. I've done a lot of things in my life, like for the first in my family, like going to university, having corporate jobs. So we've got a similar background in that front, a very male orientated industry. There's plenty of times I'm super uncomfortable, and I describe myself as, I think there is actually a word for it. I think because you've got extroverts and introverts, but there is a word where you're like both, because extroverts get their energy from people and introverts actually need to be on their own to get their energy back. I'm both. And, you know, we've said this even doing the events, like I leave the events that we've done and presentations and, you know, things that I do at work with like headaches, because like so much energy, and I love it and I enjoy it, but it takes a lot for me to do it as well. And I think I would have spent probably the last 20 years, if not more, never accepting in a room that I'm anything but confident and very happy to be there, and when all these things are going on, because to me it was a sign of weakness. Whereas I think we definitely, luckily, are moving into a space where being more authentic with your feelings, people appreciate it a bit more. And we all feel it, right? So if you're saying that I don't have them feelings, and I'm like, well, I do, and I must be weird, or, you know, I'm not made for this kind of thing. Whereas the more we're like, we do it anyway. And it's funny that you say, feel the fear and do it anyway. That's actually in my Pinterest for a tattoo that I want to get.
Amazing.
Because like you say, I've lived a lot of my life like that. And if I hadn't felt it and done it anyway, my life would be completely different.
Absolutely. I think that's really important for everybody, is like, you can make a choice. You can make a choice, like, I'm too scared, I'm not doing it. I'm too scared, I'm doing it.
So but Cody Sanchez, I don't know if you're familiar with her, she's everywhere at the moment. She teaches people how to buy more in businesses and things, but one thing she always says, it's like her little catchphrase, it's hard but do it anyway. Like, going to the gym's hard, being uncomfortable with how you look's hard. You know, learning something new's hard, wanting to and not doing it's hard. So
choose your hard.
Choose your hard. That's the word I was looking for. Choose your hard. Like, none of it's easy, but you pick which one that you do. So no, I love that. When do you feel most like yourself?
I think when I'm with people that really care about me, and then, you know, you're in a safe space. So you can, like, and I think being in a safe space is something that's really sort of part of my core values, because I did have experiences when I was young of a lot of moving around, new schools, new people. And I was a very young mom. So I actually had Chloe when I was 19, and she's now 28, and she's fabulous, my daughter. And being such a young mum, I wanted to create a safe space for her.
Yeah.
And so I suppose I've probably spent my whole life creating safe spaces for myself and people around me, my loved ones.
Yeah.
And so when I'm with my closest ones, like one of my best friends, and when people know who you are to the core, it's like you don't actually have to say or do anything to make them like you, or you don't have to like feel like they want something.
Yeah.
And you
or
can
if
just
you're not feeling it, being in a bad mood, you don't have to mask it or cover it up.
Exactly. You can, and it's interesting you should use the word mask, because I'm fairly convinced that I've got ADHD, although undiagnosed professionally. But that's only because there's been so much information that's come out on the, on the internet that's available now about girls with ADHD.
Yeah, it presents itself quite differently to boys. So when you think ADHD, you think a hyperactive, uncontrollable little boy. But yeah, it affects women in different ways. And I've seen a huge surge of women, later on in life that find that out about themselves.
Absolutely. And it goes back to what we were talking about before, when we were younger and we were trying to be successful and do a good job and show people how confident we were and how strong we are. And that is basically masking. And that would go back to sort of being the good girl in class. Like, girls are supposed to behave, be nice, be quiet.
Yeah.
That was how I felt as a child. And that's really a difficult thing to do if you're sort of quite an, naturally loud, outgoing, active kind of person, which I have always been.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people find that a bit too much. And so that's why when I'm with people who I'm closest to, who really know who I am, then that's when I'm most comfortable.
You become yourself more naturally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And also you can misbehave more and they'll still love you anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They've got no choice.
Stays in the girls group. No, I think it's really important. I actually saw a study the other week that said women need a girls' night or like reconnection with their friends every 3 weeks. Yeah. So men out there, girls' night once a month, just to, like you say, be able to, because there is that Japanese phrase where you're one person completely by yourself, you're one person to your closest, and then you're one person to the world. And I think it can get really tiring, because like I say, I've been in exactly the same position. I spoke about this quite a while ago, even just being an oldest daughter and the traits that come from that. My mum was an oldest daughter, oldest of 6. I'm the oldest of 4. And it is like, the peacemaker, making sure everyone's okay and being on eggshells and, like being very hyper aware of how people are feeling and sometimes shrinking to keep the peace and like all the things that you grow up with. And sometimes you end up, that's just a habit when you get older, but it doesn't matter how I feel. And I'm very good at faking it, which, like you say, is one of the things that I'm probably trying to unlearn rather than learn. So going back to what was life like before you come to Spain and become an estate agent? You mentioned you had a corporate career. So just give us a little bit of an idea of what that looked like.
Well, I worked for BT. So I started in the call centre. And literally when I was pregnant when I started working for them.
Wow.
And I was determined to sort of give my daughter, all the things that maybe I wanted when I was young and didn't always have. So it was really, I thought, when I sort of made the decision and realised I was going to be a mum, I was super excited that I was going to show my child, and then obviously Chloe was a girl, that, how an independent woman does things. Like I was going to be financially independent. I was going to be, I was with her dad, but I felt like I really wanted to be, strong example for her.
Yeah.
And, work hard and do all the things. And again, it sort of goes back to we want to show our families, ourselves, that we can do everything, like we're juggling all, being full-time working mum and parent and trying to be the best at everything. I think everybody inherently wants to do a good job with things. And I was so young. And I was really determined to show that, you know, a young woman could be successful, even though I was a mum.
Yeah.
And I just always did my best in everything that I did, and managed to work my way around the company, learning. And I think that's one of my key kind of aspects of my whole life is I am a learner. I like to read. I'm a learner.
Yeah.
So everywhere I go, I like to learn everything about what's happening around me in my workplace, or like I like to feed my mind with information and try and
I'm the same.
improve in some way. And that was the thing in BT. By learning the business, that enabled me to progress and apply for jobs and become more senior. Like, I mean, I got promoted like every year to 18 months through the nearly 10 years I was there.
Amazing.
And managed to enter the sort of the engineering side of the business, because when I actually asked someone how you would get promoted in BT, like how, like I'm someone who asks questions, and I was very much advocate people to always ask questions, like there's no daft questions.
So underrated asking questions.
And I would ask more senior people, so how did you get that job? Like what did you do?
Yeah.
And then one of the pieces of information I got was from one of the directors. I was at an event and I said to him, how did you get to become a director? And he said, I worked in every part of the company. And I said, well, and I thought, right, that's what I'm going to do. I work in every part of the company, and that's what I set out to do.
Yeah.
And in a sort of call center environment, it's difficult to get promoted when you're young and female in a sort of more male industry, particularly. And so I applied for engineering on purpose. And at the time I was like in my 20s and people were like, you're going to go and wear steel toe caps and a yellow jacket and you're going to drive a van.
Yeah, because it was back then, it was very like black and white. Like I think we're definitely in a much more progressive spot now, where there are a lot of more women in these male-dominated industries, but back then it was probably, like you say, less heard of.
Yeah, there was 2 women in across
and it can
the
be
country
quite
in my role.
discouraging. Like, you know, are you sure you want to do that? Like, that's different to everybody else.
Yeah, they didn't even have loos for us in most of the buildings. Like back in the day, they didn't, and some of the buildings didn't have loos in them at all, because we were location managers, and there was two of us girls got a sort of job at the same time, and it was a big thing. I actually didn't tell them that I hadn't been driving for that long. I did have a driving license. They asked me if I had a driving license. I said yes, but I actually hadn't had it for that long before I got my VT van, and I just. Again, it was
need to know basis.
Feel the fear and do it anyway. Like I was like, oh, I didn't have windows in the back of the van.
Yeah. No, I think that's really great advice. And it's funny you say that, because literally in November, I went back to the UK for our work Christmas party, and I asked my boss, the managing director of our private division, so how did you get to your position then?
Yeah.
Like, you need to ask questions, especially from people who are where you want to be or have something that you want. How did you get there? Yeah. Because, you know, that's when you can take something from it and learn. And like you say, asking questions. But I call myself a certificate collector because I am always doing some sort of course or something, learning. But no, that's really, really interesting. And similar for me as well, in terms of working in different, you know, jobs. I went into currency straight from uni. I think I was 21, had no idea what it was, started customer facing, similar. And worked my way. I think I've had 4 or 5 different roles in the company in that industry now, to work your way up. But when I got offered the next position, I had no idea. I was like, I'll do it. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. And there's this phrase, isn't there? Everything's figure-outable.
Yeah.
And I very much have lived my life like that. Like, I'll figure it out. Yeah.
I like everything's figure-outable, and I'm unfuckwithable.
Oh, yeah.
So I like those too.
Another phrase which I'm very fond of, which helps me a lot, especially because I've touched upon the fact that I probably have ADHD, so I get a little bit caught up with things, literally. And also I want to do things really well, but a really important one is done is better than perfect. Yeah. So important.
That's took me a long time to get to, because I would have, for most of my life, explained myself or described myself as a perfectionist. And I don't even like that word anymore.
Doesn't get stuff done.
No. And I think definitely the last couple of years, booking things in, like, we'll figure it out. We'll just do it, say it live on the podcast. So like, we've got lots of people that are holding us accountable and putting it out into the universe. And I think, done is so much better than perfect.
Just going back to how you were saying of how you were asking different roles where you would want to be and how you get there. I do think that is really important, because there's nothing worse working for somebody who actually doesn't understand the job that you're doing or has never done it. And they expect these things, or they're giving you these targets, and in actual fact they've never been there and they don't really understand the concept of it. So I do think it's really important as a director, of a business and owner, that you do understand and have been in those positions. I think it makes you more relatable and easy to work for and work with.
Totally.
To be honest,
there's so many people in management and high up and on boards and execs in companies that haven't done the groundwork, that they've obviously worked themselves up to that position, but maybe in different companies, different industries. And I think that's one thing that I really love about my company, is a lot of the people that are high up have worked in this company for 15, 20 years plus and done all the different jobs. So, I'm not asking you to do something I haven't done or been in your position. And I think that really helps. And that must help you now you're a business owner, from what you ask and expect from your employees.
Absolutely. Because when I started the business, I was literally doing everything. Like, I started it. I was working for an estate agent who's actually not here in Orwell Costa now. And the things that I learned from that business actually empowered me to think I can do this, because it's all about looking after people.
Yeah.
I mean, for helping someone find a home is obviously like finding a house, but particularly a lot of these people are doing it internationally. A lot of our clients are doing it internationally. So they kind of have the fear of the language barrier, the fear of the law being different. And my job really is to keep people safe and to go, okay, well, I know how this works because I have the experience, the knowledge, the qualification.
You've done it. You've gone through the process.
I moved countries myself. I did my research myself. And I have helped lots of people in that position.
Yeah.
And for me, the fundamental value is about keeping them safe.
Yeah.
And if someone's on my watch, whether it's dealing with me personally or even someone in my team, because I empower my team to take the time and to care about what people's needs are, and make sure that everything that happens for them is done in a safe way. That's the most important factor.
Yeah, I think what makes businesses successful is obviously happy clients, right? And you can only, no matter what it is that you're selling, product, service, it's how you deliver it and it's how you make people feel. And this is something that I've done even recently, reminding my team. I spent so many years early on in business thinking if I know everything about my product and service, that's what I can sell, because I am in a sales role. So it was like, the more I know, the more I say, the more impressive the company sounds. That's what will get me the partners and the business. And then as I've got older and I've learned and, a lot more about psychology and business and all these things along the way. And what I've been showing and teaching my team is it's about how you make people feel. So the information's important. Yes, the product and service needs to be good.
Absolutely.
But it's all about how you make people feel. And that is ultimately what it drives human decision behavior a lot more than just logic. It's not about the information. It's that paired with how you make someone feel. And that's what gives you the recommendations and the good feedback and reviews and stuff that, like you say, it drives everything.
Absolutely. We have amazing reviews.
Yeah.
you touched on you are undiagnosed, but you definitely feel that you have ADHD, yes?
Yeah.
If you didn't mind talking about it, how do you think that's changed in terms of running your business, your team, your clients? Does everyone feel a little bit more understandable of
yeah, actually,
what's going on? Or...
Absolutely. So I think over the last year and a half, again, I've just become more and more honest about how I'm feeling and what my needs are. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something to do with like maturity and getting older as well. It's like understanding yourself better.
Yeah.
And also explaining to other people what you need to be successful, and then in turn that empowers them to be honest about what they need to be successful. Because it's almost like, well, if you don't tell me what it is that you need, then how do I know what the right information or assistance
support
that you need? So I've become a lot more kind of open about saying, well, I struggle with this. Please, can you take responsibility for this? And it can be simple things like asking someone to put things in my diary, or asking people to remind me of something, or saying, I'm going to be with a client in the car today and we're going to get all excited and caught up in what I'm doing. But actually, there's a really important thing I've got to do by 3:00 today, or there might be a problem. So can one of you just ring me at 3:00 and say, Zoe, I know you're with a client, sorry to bother you, but can you just remember blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you would think, well, I'm a big girl, I should be able to remember at 3:00. But when you're caught up in the moment, sometimes we're all human.
Yeah.
So,
you can't do it all.
We need help. And I think that's one of the most important things in life, is learning that we do all need help, and we are all human, and actually forgiving ourselves for our, and recognizing some of our strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah. And being honest with them, like you say.
Being honest with people.
Yeah.
And not just because, I've been doing something longer, or just because I have more knowledge, doesn't mean that everybody has something to offer. And in fact, actually, when I was young in BT, I had a female senior boss who said something to me which was kind of life-changing, and I've never forgot it. And I was in my early 20s, and she was probably in her, she seemed older to me at the time, she was probably in her 40s. She's probably my age now. And I was speaking to her in sort of like a mentor relationship, and she said to me, Zoe, just because you're younger or less experienced doesn't mean that your good ideas aren't valid. And that was or doesn't mean that you don't necessarily have the best idea just because you're younger or less experienced or whatever. And I carry that with me always, and I also remember it with whoever I'm dealing with, and in terms of valuing people's input.
Everyone's important.
Everyone's got something important to add, or something. You can learn from people everywhere, from every level. And that's really stuck with me as well. And it's about actually identifying where are the strengths and weaknesses, and leaning into that and going, okay, so I recognize I'm not as good at this and this, so I'm going to ask for your help. And how can I make that work better for you as well?
Well, superheroes have normally one power, right? So it's like you have a team of superheroes that all use each other for each other's strengths. So it's no different really. But I think we live in such a world where we think we have to do everything by ourselves that it feels really isolating. And like you say, being honest about it is not the norm. So I think the more we can make that the norm, it's going to be better for everybody, because there's no point making yourself feel really bad about something you're not good at, when actually, no, you're fantastic at that, and that's what I need from you, and forget about what you're not good at, because that other person can do it. And then when everyone's doing what they're really good at, that's when businesses transform, that's when people transform. And something that come up when you were saying about asking for help is I saw something that someone said recently, that when I'm a self-made millionaire or billionaire. Nobody's self-made, because at some point along the way, everybody's had to have help.
Absolutely.
And I am really not good. That is definitely one area I want to get much better at, is asking for help. Because again, I make it feel like, well, I should be able to do it all. No, stick with what you're good at, and lean on other people when you need them for what they're good at.
Absolutely. And you're right. I mean, especially when you're you're sort of going through the stages of trying to be successful in whatever it is, and you want to do well and be seen to be doing well, and it's you don't want to, you mentioned earlier, not wanting to show weakness, but actually it's a strength to be able to say, I'm not very good at this, can I have some help? Because ultimately the team is stronger when they work together. That's why we don't work alone all the time. That's why we need people, we need teams. And that's why I think this podcast actually has such good value in what you're doing with the events and stuff like that, because we all need those connections. And I actually really feel strongly that during COVID, when we all kind of stayed at home and didn't mix, it was really bad for all of us. And then since then, I've been really proactively pushing myself to go to more in-person events, to connect with people, because we kind of all retreated a little bit. And it's time now to sort of get over that and spend more time, making new connections, getting in rooms with lots of different people, and learning from each other, and giving each other support.
I think so. That's why we wanted to do it, because we realized there was a gap for it. There's plenty of things happening, but they're quite surface level, whereas I want to get deep. I want to I want to know what you're good at and what you're not good at, and what makes you feel human. And that's happened to me too. And I thought it was just me, and now I feel not alone because you've gone through it. And these are the things that make, I think, women, especially, no offense guys, but women extra powerful, because men aren't very good at sharing and being vulnerable either. So it is definitely a human race thing. But I think women just seem to carry this extra weight of trying to do it all, be the best at work and successful, and be the best mum and the best wife and the best friend, and it's like I can't do it all at the same time. And I saw a woman that I've actually done a course of hers, shock. She's a businesswoman, but she's a mum too, and she basically said, like, I know I shouldn't say this out loud, but we can't have it all at the same time, and it's going through seasons. And like, I would love to get up in the morning, go to Pilates, and then work intensely, and then do this, and then do podcasts and coaching. But it's like, I need to realize that I'm still in a season of having a very young child, that, Pilates can wait, certain things that having the pressure to do it all at the same time is tough. And I think allowing yourself to be like, look, now I'm juggling both, so I need to be kind to myself. Or now, actually, for the next 2 weeks, it is all about work, and I am not going to be, the house is going to be messy. The kids are going to be, not seeing me as much, but it's, a season or a couple of weeks, a period. And then, I shift, and I'll, come back round and do stuff with the kids and have a break from work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you were saying about really important getting out there. Especially after the COVID kind of, everyone started hibernating, didn't they? And getting so used to being behind screens, that a lot of the society is still like that. And I think it is so important, like these events, even like with your work, in person. It's so important to see and speak and feel all of this. Absolutely. Also in person. It does hit differently.
That's why we do the exhibitions. Because you can spend a lot of money on the internet and advertising, but it's still kind of, people can't see it, feel it, touch it. I like going to exhibitions where people can look me in the eye and think, is this a woman going to look after me? And you can look me in the eye, and the answer is yes, I am going to look after you. And that's really important to me, and it's important to the people who choose us, and also it travels down into my team as well, because the people I've chosen are really special and all have the ability to take really good care of our clients. And before, during, and after they're buying properties, it's not a relationship that ends when you get a set of keys. I keep very much in touch with all my clients.
It's not just buying property for you and your team. It's so much more about, like you keep saying, about keeping people safe and comfortable, and not just for that moment, but going forward.
Absolutely.
Not just buying that property. It doesn't just, that's just the beginning.
But that's not what drives you, is it? It's like, money's great, we all need to live and survive, but what drives you is helping people. That is your North Star. So you found a career that allows you to do that, and you can make money, and that's great.
We all need to earn a living, but for me, absolutely, you're right. The driving factor is, did it help someone today? And also, you just going back to what you were saying about juggling all the things and not being able to sort of be perfect at everything all at the same time. I think one of the pieces of advice that I'd like to give is, sometimes you can just do one thing. Right? We all talk about the juggle. We'll talk about, multitasking. You know, as women, we can do lots of things. Yeah, we can, but we can't do lots of things really well all the time. Like, nobody
for a
can
long
do that.
period of time.
Nobody can sustain that.
Yeah.
So sometimes, and especially someone like me, where I do get distracted, and I always have a lot of things on the go. I'm always spinning a lot of plates.
Yeah.
And my way of coping with that is literally, what's the next one thing?
Yeah.
And the next one thing might be brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
And the next one thing might be, I'm going to put my shoes by the door.
Yeah.
And just literally, sometimes that is how I am getting through my day, is by breaking it down into simple, small tasks and going, okay, so I need to phone that person today. By the end of today, I'm going to phone that person. It's just setting that one goal and getting that one goal done. And we can all have to-do lists as long as your arm. But actually, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is give yourself one goal and then just go, okay, done it.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah, I think, like I say, we can get so distracted with all the things we've got going on that you almost become a bit paralyzed of like, where do I even start? So I like that. They're like, what's the one thing that I need to do right now? Get that done. And then as you get those ticked off the list, and I think probably why me and Charlotte still like to write things down and tick, is it's that kind of sense of accomplishment, and that becomes a bit of momentum.
Yeah.
So and I think just accepting that some days you're going to tick a lot of things off your list, and some days it might just be brushing your teeth, and it's fine. And
absolutely.
Every day's a new day. So we've covered a lot of kind of life experience there. What's one thing that you think challenged you the most, that's like really built your character and who you are today and had a hand in your success?
I think probably being a young mum, because obviously being so young, it wasn't a planned thing, and I was quite a sort of ambitious young person. I wanted to go to university, but I didn't know how. And back at that time, I didn't have a lot of people in my life who could support me with that. And then instead of going down a route where I could have or should have had the ability to go to university, I had a baby instead.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of the challenging things, but it was also the making of me.
Yeah.
So, whatever your challenges are, there's kind of, they're kind of, there's gold in the grit kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
In fact, somebody told me that, that pearls start as a little bit of a grit in an oyster shell.
And diamonds come from pressure. So no, I do like that. I think everyone who is ultra successful, I think, has gone through something, and most people that have overcome something really challenging normally say they wouldn't change it. There are, the odd things that I'm sure some people would not want to experience, but as a whole, most challenges, we come out the other side stronger, more appreciative, more confident in ourselves. So actually, sometimes the challenges are what lead us to be, and live the lives that we want and be the people that we want to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So talking about growth, because obviously this is all about growing together and figuring it out and learning along the way. You give us some great advice so far. So what is a small habit that you do that you swear by, whether it's daily or weekly, or something that you think really helps you out?
I think it's just like we've kind of covered quite a lot of those already. The feeling the fear and doing it anyway. That's a daily thing.
Yeah.
and like you say, doing that one thing. In addition to that, sometimes it's like framing it in an hour, going, okay, I'm going to do a power hour, and and I suppose like being kinder to yourself. Is really important, because we go around we all want to be kind to everybody else and make people feel good.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think you have to talk to yourself as if you were your own friend.
Yes.
And put your own gas mask on first. I think when, again, being a young mum, when I was trying to do everything and be an example and be successful and earn money and make sure everyone was happy, and I think one of the important lessons in life I learned was that happy parents equal happy children.
Yeah.
So finding ways to make yourself happy and look after yourself,
Yeah.
your own self-care and your own self-worth is so
Yeah.
important. And it's not selfish, actually,
No.
because when you're happier within yourself, your children are happier,
Yeah.
your loved ones are happier, your partner's happier.
Yeah.
You know, you've got more to give.
Yeah.
If you're looking after yourself.
Yeah.
And it's setting a good example as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was saying before we started recording that, you know, I don't think we've had from, you know, the generation before a very good example of them taking care of themselves. It was always, what can you do? And your worth comes from your work. And I don't think anyone ever really, well, self-care and all these things weren't even a phrase or a topic before. So I think that's definitely something that's took me a while to come around to and realize that, yeah, you know, you can't take care of other people unless you're taking care of yourself. And like you say, I think it used to get a bit of a selfish look, but I think people now realise just how important it is, especially when it's procedures on an aircraft, like put your mask on first, otherwise you can't save your children.
Absolutely.
So,
and when I moved to Spain and I was, working at, building a business, and again, I had small children, I felt like I didn't have the time to go to like an exercise class or anything like that.
Yeah.
And that was kind of, you could maybe say that's an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
But I found something, there was a thing, I don't know if you'll remember, it was pop-up yoga, and they were doing full moon yoga.
Okay.
And an amazing lady called Caroline. And she, and I thought, so I didn't really fancy the yoga, to be honest, because I wasn't really that fit, and probably, slightly overweight, and like not very body confident. But I thought the idea of like watching the moon rise above the sea and like being in the like grounding of your feet in the sand, and I thought, okay, I really like the sound of this, and it's later in the day, so like I'm finished work, so I just kind of promised myself that I gave myself the time. It's only once every so often. It's not even once a week.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I really want to do this. And I went there, and she was just such an inspiring force of nature, incredible woman. And she also encouraged me, like through the full moon yoga, she would do sort of meditation and things like that.
Yeah.
And as someone who, as I've said, I've got, definitely a little bit of ADHD, I have a very busy mind. I'm always thinking lots of things. I'm always spinning lots of plates.
Yeah.
I don't, I can't do it any other way.
Yeah.
So to actually find some stillness and some meditation, to find someone I can resonate with and do some exercise, although I much prefer seeing the moon and doing the meditation to the actual yoga.
Yeah. Give me the spiritual stuff.
Yeah. And she was great, and really, gave me something that helped me be better overall.
Yeah.
And well done for that, because you've just said it then, for making yourself and making that promise to yourself to do it and making that time, because just not long before you just mentioned, I'd like to do this and I'd like to do that, but I haven't got time for that right now. And it's actually finding the time and making that time, because it is so important to something that will really benefit to you. And again, because a happy parent, mum especially, brings a happy child. I do completely agree with that.
Yeah. Cool. So what does personal growth mean to you at the moment? What does that look like behind the scenes?
Well, I'm always buying a book.
That's my guilty pleasure. I've got some down there, and Liam always moans when I don't read them. Do you read them though?
I do read them, and sometimes do some Audible as well.
Yeah.
A bit of each, diving in. And also the in-person events really mean a lot to me, that human connection.
Yeah.
So I've been seeking out new things to learn and pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So I actually booked myself women in business retreats.
Love it.
And so this was like, I think 2024 when I booked my first one. And it was all about social media. And I knew the lady who was running the course, and I'd been following her for years and respected her, and she was doing really well, being successful. And I wasn't so confident at social media. And to be honest, I'm still not. I'm getting better.
Yeah, same. We're trying.
Yeah. So content creation, again, we said, like, people would potentially describe me as confident, and I am in a lot of ways. But when it's something that I don't know a lot about, content creation, like the tech side of it, I'm not very confident in that.
Yeah.
I remember going to the event thinking, oh, I actually didn't even know what a reel was. I literally didn't know how to do a reel or what a reel was. I just knew about, like,
I've just been taught this
posting.
morning.
Yeah, I had to show Charlotte today.
Yeah, I was like, I knew how to, like, post something. And and I was like, not doing any videos, even now, to actually, like, hold the camera up, like hold the phone up and, like, record myself doing a video, which I do now.
Yeah.
Not as much as I should.
It's very different in person than video. I find in person I'm more confident than putting myself on video.
It's a lot, you know, and some people do it amazingly well.
Yeah.
And again, like, when I actually do it, and if you watch it, you wouldn't even guess that I've actually really had to sort of force myself into that place of going, right, come on, you've got to do it. Let's just do it. And it's easier when somebody else is doing it for you. Like, thank you so much for doing this for me today. Than, like, having me as a guest, because you guys are in control of the tech. So I'm so happy about that.
Liam's in control of the tech.
Yeah.
Because
we haven't.
Me and Charlotte still don't even know how to turn it on. I only know how to click stop.
So yeah, it's but again, that's what we were talking about before. It's about finding other people that can sort of balance your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
So and doing it anyway. And so I went on this course. I thought I was going to learn things, and then when I got there, they were just saying it was more kind of about the strategy, and it wasn't actually a course about learning, like, how to do a reel.
To do it, yeah.
So I didn't really fully understand what I'd actually booked, but it doesn't matter, because I made amazing connections.
Yeah.
And the women who were there were all other business owners, all different kinds of business owners. And that was just so exciting and uplifting to be in a room full of positive people who were all like trying to, you know, improve and learn and grow together. And giving yourself the opportunity to actually have moments of personal growth outside of, like, the family unit and your normal day-to-day working is so important. It's one thing that I would advocate to anyone to do if you get the chance, or just book yourself the chance to go and kind of immerse yourself in some kind of learning that interests you, or something that, you know, that's new for you. Because you are the sum of the people you surround yourself with, which again, I think is another, you know, positive for what you're creating here with the Rising. Yeah. Because it's all about surrounding yourself with positive people and like, fill up my cup. Like, give me more of that positive good stuff. Lift me up.
No, it's true. It's true. You know, that there is actually, you know, studies that show that is a real saying. You're the sum of the 5 closest people to you. So, you know, if those people aren't pushing you out of your comfort zone, encouraging you to do new things, it is being uncomfortable where you grow the most. And I think that is probably one thing that's led to most of my success, or the root of it, is I just got very comfortable at being uncomfortable, like you say, having that mask and feeling the fear and doing it anyway. And I think that's what's led me to get to where I've got to and fast track some of my, you know, corporate growth and stuff. And it's just comfortable being uncomfortable and doing it anyway. And I went, I think it was 2024 when I went to my first work event. I did drag Liam along with me because it was all to do with, like, you know, online business. So I was like, well, you're my tech man, you come with me. Yeah. So we went to Phoenix to a guy who I bought his course and done it. And that was great. We were in a room of, you know, hundreds of thousands, and Americans as well. So they're like, hi, where are you from? And, you know, they want to talk. So it was really good.
It's that energy and being around the same like-minded people, because as you say, you've got your own family life, and you have your own likes within that family, but it's a different thing going to these events, work events, women events, retreats, because you're there really with the same
it's true, because like I said, like, I'm a bit of an anomaly in my family, in the sense that, you know, my interests and what I've ended up doing is very different to my family. Even my closest friendship group, none of my friends have really done the corporate career life and stuff. So even though we've got so much that we bond over and that we've got similar, there's a lot of stuff that we haven't done that's the same. So it's nice to find other people that you can talk about that with and learn from. And yeah, I highly recommend doing those things, even on your own, or dragging someone with you if you can, because that's where you grow and get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it's having like role models and people who've kind of gone before you and tried different things, like you said, content creation. And this is my, you know, first time on a podcast, which is massively out of my comfort zone, but I feel like it's an important step forward in, you know, how I can progress and grow. So again, this is like me pushing myself to do better, to be better, and to help others, because that's what I like to do. Yeah,
I think one thing that I like to hear when you have those nerves and you're trying something new and, you know, you want to put your work out there is, I've seen it loads of times and I love it every time I come across it, is the world needs your work. The world needs you. So, you know, whenever you're feeling a bit nervous, you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for the people. And when you come from a place of serving people and wanting to help, then it's almost selfish to not. So when you're nervous, I think that helps me sometimes, when it's like, no, someone can actually benefit from this, and it's not fair if I keep it to myself.
That's so true. And because you're a few steps ahead of someone who maybe wants to try something new, like would like to try a podcast. So seeing you doing it means like, oh, maybe I could do it too.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned about, you know, being around people that inspire you. Who's someone that inspires you at the moment?
So many people. I follow lots of people on social media, and then in real life as well. I think one of my kind of main inspirations would be Gabby Bernstein. I don't know if you've
rings a bell.
Heard
for those
her.
that don't know, do you want to share who she is?
Well, one of her books is Super Attractor. She's got lots of books. I've been following her for years, and she really gives a strong framework. I went to see one of her in-person events for the first time this year in London, and she just is really like talks sense, is uplifting, is all about sharing her gifts. She's been on quite a journey herself. I would say anybody that, you know, is into personal growth like we are, you know, get hold of her books, listen to her audibles. She's just...
Add that to my Amazon cart.
Yeah, very impactful. Very impactful,
yeah. Absolutely.
Love it. Cool. And what is a non-negotiable for you right now, whether it's in your personal life or in work life? What is something that, no, this has to happen, this is my thing?
I think you said in-person events, going to in-person events, you know, having that human connection, surrounding myself with good people.
Making space for that in your...
Making time for that in my diary is non-negotiable, because it's filling up your own cup. You know, it's like you said, you know, looking after yourself mentally, your own wellness is so important, and especially when you're got a lot on your plate, it's kind of like you think, well, you're already busy and you're adding something else onto your agenda, but then when you come back from doing something, whether it's yoga or whether it's you know, going to an in-person event to learn more about coaching or new business connections, and you know, having those positive influences in my life lights me up. Yeah. And that enables me to do everything else in my life, work, personal, family, kids, husband, everything else. It means I can be a better version of myself because I have taken some time. And even sometimes just sitting on a plane, you get on a plane on your own. And if anybody's never got on a plane on their own, absolutely get on a plane on your own. Yes. Even if it's for a work thing, even if it's for like a one-day event, give yourself some time so that you can sort of, you know, just reset, have a good think about what your intentions are, where you go and what do you want. I think sometimes we get so caught up on a hamster wheel that we kind of don't even think about what we really need or what we really want or where we're really going. Something so powerful I read only just this morning, and I was looking for something interesting or important to say this morning. I was like, what can I bring? And it was actually Zoe Humphries of High Performance. He has got his book, and I've got his book as well. And he said, if we're lucky, we've got about 4,000 weeks of life. And that is just under, that would get you to, not quite 77 years old. And not all of us are lucky enough to get that far. And so we actually don't have a lot of time to do all the things we want to do, to spend all the time with our loved ones that we want to spend, to go on the holidays, to have the experiences. So as much as we're all sort of, battling through to be successful, to have growth, to do jobs, earn money, pay bills, we also have to think about the balance of life and like, where are we going? What are we doing? Why?
I think it's so easy to be pulled through life, and this is something that we actually did in our one of our first events, was really get people to pause, think about what do you want from life. We got them to analyze different areas of their life at the moment and like score themselves so that visually you can see, well, I thought I was actually okay in my work life, but maybe there is something else that I need and I wanted, and like think of a really powerful intentional word that you can use and lead your life by for these next months or so, because otherwise we just get pulled, and before you know it, it's not actually in the direction that you even want. So don't waste those 4,000 weeks, guys.
Your time is precious. Use it wisely.
That is the most precious thing we have. And I think when you haven't gone through, losing a family member or, bad things that happen that do really show you that, it's very easy to just think, I've got all the time in the world. I'll get round to that at some point. Oh, I'll be a coach one day. Oh, I'll do this one day. And it's like, no, go for it now. There's no time to be wasted. I think that's really, really important.
It's actually important not to wait for a serious life event for that to happen. And sometimes people only realize like how precious life is when they lose someone or if they get some kind of serious illness. And actually my husband had serious illness a few years ago, and I'm just so grateful that how well he is now. And but it's important to remember, like you have to live for today and enjoy your life. So, it's not just all work, or if it's not work that lights you up, then you figure out what does light you up and be intentional.
Definitely. What's exciting you right now for the future? What have you got on the burner that you're excited to do?
Well, I had a thing where I was with my own kid. Oh, sorry. I'm talking about something exciting. I can't even
excited.
I'm like, can't even say it.
This is good though. I'm excited.
Right. Well, when I was on holiday with the kids, I just came across something to do with Mr. Beast. The
I know him very well.
YouTuber in the world.
Oh yeah, I thought you said Mr. Bean. I know who he is.
No, Charlotte, not Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean.
Sorry.
One of the biggest YouTubers in the world. Right. So obviously I was aware of him. Like my children are kind of more into following his videos and stuff like that. I didn't really know a lot of detail about him. I hadn't really looked for it. But I was on holiday, so I was like just reading things, spending more time, not necessarily just focused on work stuff. And I was watching something and reading something about him, and I found out that his Mr. Beast chocolate, when he was making it, he actually discovered that a lot of chocolate is made using child labour.
I've shared this.
It's so weird because I was introduced to this too, and we bought it in Alicante.
I was so shocked
because of my son.
Yeah, I was so shocked. And then when he found this out, he was like, "Well, no, I don't want to make chocolate."
Accept that. Yeah.
we used to tell that surely there must be another way, and you know, just you can go look into it, I'm sure,
Yeah.
like if you're interested. But basically, he's disrupting
Yeah.
the chocolate making industry
Yeah.
because he discovered that a lot of cocoa is kind of farmed using child labor, and he's like refusing to accept it.
Yeah.
And he's making sure that people are paid fairly, and that he's putting money into enabling children to go to school who would potentially otherwise be working as part of this industry. And it literally blew my mind. Like, I was so like overwhelmed by how amazing this is and what a difference he's making. And I literally had no idea. And I was just like, I was so excited about it. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And like, I said to the kids, oh, I'm so excited. I was like, I'm going to contact Mr. Beast, right? And the kids like, you're not going to contact him. No, you're not. He's not going to, like, you know. I'm like, I am. I'm going to tell him. I think more parents should know about this.
Yeah.
Because
I don't mind Kason watching him now. I'm like, yeah, you watch Mr. Beast.
Yeah, because
fair play.
Filling people, you know, obviously, like, there's a lot of like novelty to things he does and blah, blah, blah.
But he's a philanthropist.
But he's a huge philanthropist. Like, he's doing such good work.
Yeah.
And what an amazing example.
Yeah.
And I was so excited about it. And I just thought not enough parents know about this. So even if one person watches this podcast and finds out about that, then, you know, I'll feel like I've done something.
Yeah.
I'm glad you've said that. Yeah, because I would be guilty of that. I would be that guilty parent of going, oh, stupid videos, they don't teach you anything.
His merchandise. I'm not buying that €5 chocolate.
Not even about the chocolate, even just about I'm just the to start with. So you wouldn't even be able to discover this person, because I'll be like, no. When in actual fact,
there are good people out there.
Yeah, knowing about these people, I think he's used his platform in the best way of doing good and teaching others not to just accept that's how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And not exactly not accepting that's just how it is. Like, we can do better.
Yeah.
And I find him so inspiring. And I think the inspiring piece that for me to take away is that I know I have a lot to offer in terms of my knowledge and experience. And, you know, I've given birth to 4 kids. I've 2 bonus daughters. I've been married twice. I've had a corporate life. I've had an entrepreneurial life. Yeah. And I'm heading up towards 50. And my husband keeps telling me I'm nearly 50. I'm happy about it. Yeah. I'm not sad about it. I'm delighted. And
so you should be.
I feel like I've got a lot to offer. And I would like to, you know, make a small difference in however way I can and help more people. Yeah. And we were talking about pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones and things like that. And I've been trying to figure out a way that I can find my own little, you know, like sharing my gifts. And so I've got an exciting announcement to make. So I'm going to speak it into existence.
Speak it into existence. I love that.
So this is new. This is
an exclusive for the listeners.
Listen up. I'm excited.
So you've heard of Mr. Beast?
Yes.
The influencer, content creator. Mm-hmm. So meet Auntie Zoe.
Auntie Zoe. Woo! I love it.
So
she's out there.
Yeah, I've decided that I am going to be creating content and I am going to have a little bit of influence and I would want to have conversations with people, conversations like this, talking about, you know, how we can make our lives better, how we can improve our quality of living. It's not always about work, you know, sometimes it's about balance. Yeah. And not everyone has someone in their life who they can talk to about lots of things that they feel safe with. Yeah. Someone who's not going to judge them, who's going to actually, you know, be able to offer some potential.
Or laugh at your ideas, make you feel like it's not possible, or it's just so different to your friends and your family of, you know, how you've presented yourself to this point.
And you know, gain real kind of insight from my years of experience of moving countries. I've spent my whole life trying to improve my quality of life for myself and my children and my family and the people around me. And I just want to kind of extend that to other people by creating positive content. and I don't think I'm ever really going to be Mr. Beast. But I do think
I
there's
bet Mr. Beast didn't think he was going to be Mr. Beast. He started when he was 13. Can you believe that? It took him 10, 15 years to get to the point that he's in. And a lot of people, he dropped out of school and his mum supported him, but a lot of people told him, you're not going to be anything. And look at him now.
Yeah. But I really think there's space for kind of a bit of older female wisdom on the internet.
Absolutely. For
I
sure,
agree.
like we were saying, being vulnerable, sharing life experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly, and making people feel heard, seen and supported. I think that we can never have too much of that. So I love it when you guys heard it here first. So when you have your everything up and running and we can link and share with our audience and point them in the direction of Auntie Zoe, then let me know and I'll share it with the audience.
Okay, so I've got something, I actually brought something with me of significance. So I've been thinking about doing this and wanting to do this.
Yeah.
And sort of becoming Auntie Zoe. So I bought myself a Christmas gift that was sort of to be symbolic of beginning the journey of becoming Auntie Zoe. And to be honest, I didn't open it. This is like
love the honesty.
Extreme procrastination.
Yes.
In what of fear? What was it? Was it anxiousness? Was it I'm not ready? Did you not really know why?
I think it was like when I opened the gift, it's like it's got to be real now,
and I'm going to have to do something about it.
Do something about it, and that is I know I want to do it, and I am going to do it. But I also think sometimes it's especially when you're doing it on your own. It's one of the reasons why I kind of like, okay, I feel safe here with you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk about it and make it real. And I want people to feel safe with me so they can sort of watch this and understand that I struggled with the beginning. You know, beginnings are hard. Change is hard. But like we said before, Cody Sanchez says, choose your hard.
Choose your hard.
And I'm choosing my hard. And something that's hard is actually a pearl. And I've got a little thing here, which I'm going to show you.
So you actually going to open it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open it.
Yeah. So this is it. Auntie Zoe is putting this now into the universe.
Yes. So actually, I'm so emotional now about it. So I wanted to have something that was sort of symbolic so that when I wear it, so like I'm becoming Auntie Zoe, like so when I do content or whatever, I'll wear them. And I thought, well, one of the things I want to do is share my pearls of wisdom. So I bought myself this gift, and I went looking in lots of places. I'm hearing the rustle of the paper. I haven't opened it since I bought it. Actually says so I gave it to, so I put it under the tree as a gift. And then didn't open it. But
I'm glad you're sharing that with us today.
My children tried to open it because they were like, what is it? What is it? And I was like, oh, it's just something for me. So I'm going to open it.
This is it. This is the moment. This is your moment.
And I was so nervous about opening it, which is so silly because I bought it.
But that's because you care so much.
And it's the symbolic reason behind it.
Yeah.
It's the birth of Auntie Zoe.
So these are Auntie Zoe's pearls because I want to share pearls of wisdom with all of you.
Oh, that's amazing. Love that.
This is it.
Well
that's
done
it. Put them on.
for opening it and speaking it into the world. And like you say, we all need this space and we all need exactly what you're describing. And you're obviously being pulled in that direction for a reason, and I totally believe that. And I've procrastinated about coaching and sharing and helping people for many years, and you know, you're not doing it for you're doing it for other people. So yeah, we need this in the world, so make sure that you leave here and start putting it even more out there.
It just shows this moment is so special to you. Look how emotional you are and the feeling that you are getting from it. So can you imagine how much help she is going to give to people, not just from her words of wisdom, but necessarily so just listening, because she really does care. So I am just going to jump in on the camera because I want to give you a hug.
Thank you.
Well done, you. You are amazing. Well done.
I just really want to make a difference.
Yeah. No, I think that's obvious.
And I believe that I can.
Yeah. And that's amazing.
We've always got tissues. Where's our tissues gone?
Down there. Oh, get some tissue. No, that's amazing, and I'm really glad that you're starting that journey.
By snotting on Great.
It's being real. It's exactly what it is.
It's being real, and like Charlotte said, it shows how much it means to you, and I'm sure you will make a difference because you care so much. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm very proud.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to wrap this up with something that I'm going to call the Unfiltered Minute.
Okay.
So quick fire questions, whatever comes to you, say it, a word or a sentence, and that's how we're going to finish every episode. So
let her just compose herself.
Okay, right.
Sorry.
Stop, just do it.
Rip the Band-Aid off, let's go. What do you wish people talked more about honestly?
How they really feel.
How they really feel. Amazing. What do you think most people focus on too much?
Work instead of balance.
Yeah. Do you like surprises?
No.
Especially surprise emotions. What is something simple that brings you joy?
Blue skies.
Oh, I love that.
What does growing together mean to you?
Going together, I think it's sharing, isn't it? It's like sharing how you're feeling, sharing what you're doing, and that's really what I want to do more of, because I think we're probably all guilty, and I'm definitely guilty of hiding a bit. So, by sharing what's happening with ourselves, and that's kind of the whole point of content creation. It's kind of full circle, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. What is your superpower, or something that you find really easy that other people might not? Learning.
What is something you want people to know about you that maybe we haven't said today?
I actually swam the channel as part of a 6-person relay team when I worked for BT.
Wow.
When Chloe was about 18 months old. We did it for charity. And because it was quite an extreme way of getting fit after having a baby.
Commit to
extreme.
It, so
wow.
That is really impressive.
It was a huge challenge. It was one of those things where, actually, there's a little story I'll try and make quick because we've already been on talking a long time. So when I was a little girl, I watched a film called National Velvet with Elizabeth Taylor in it, and it was about a girl winning the Grand National, and her mum had swum the channel in the film, and she'd got this sort of piece of gold, and it was the piece of gold that her mum got from swimming the channel that she used to enter the Grand National with.
Wow.
And that gave me the idea that I could swim the channel from when I was young, and it was something that I'd always said to myself I thought I could do, and it was one of those moments of testing myself. It came up in BT, actually. It was on the internet. It said we're going to do a channel swim for charity, and I was so unfit. Chloe was a baby, and I just thought I could do this. I could be part of this, and it was like a kind of a dream fulfilled, and it was kind of the start of my feel the fear and do it anyway. There's kind of a whole story behind that, which I might probably share at a different time.
Wow.
Love it.
Good
well
for
done.
you.
So thank you again, Zoe, for coming on. It's been a really insightful, very interesting and emotional chat. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm sure the listeners are going to take away so much from this, and Liam's going to get so many clips of pearls of wisdom that we've shared today. So
Loads of pearls of wisdom.
thanks for coming, and obviously we'll share with the audience how they can find you and connect with you in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.